David Foster Wallace is a supposedly fun thing I will never do again. And I think, from my own personal experience, one of those supposedly fun things that everyone tells you is really fun but really isn't is having a pig nose transplanted onto your face. I've heard about it from person after person after person, and let me tell you, I mean, it's not terrible, but, you know, ooh. Anyway, I really like this essay, and this essay goes on a lot longer than what you've read, and for some of you that's probably a horrific thought, but basically this essay starts off the way you would expect an essay written about someone going on a cruise ship to be, basically kind of a travelogue. He writes about all the, the beginning of this is basically him just writing about every single little thing he did. It's almost just like where did it go? A laundry list of all the things he's seen, and the dances he's done, and the food he's eaten. And I think there's some funny lines in here. If you look at the right-hand column on the first page, kind of near the bottom, I've heard upscale adult U.S. citizens ask the guest relations desk whether snorkeling necessitates getting wet, whether the skeet shooting will be held outside, whether the crew sleeps on board, and what time the midnight buffet is. I now know the precise mixicological difference between a slippery nipple and a fuzzy navel. I know what a coco loco is. I've seen in 1 week and been the object of over 1,500 professional smiles. I've burned and peeled twice. I've shot a skeet at sea. Is this enough? At the time, it didn't feel like enough. So basically, he tries to do capital T traveling on this cruise ship. He tries to do every possible thing that he can on this cruise ship. Going on a little bit, I've dickered over trinkets, and this is on page 258. I've dickered over trinkets with malnourished children. I now know every conceivable rationale and excuse for somebody spending over $3,000 to go on a Caribbean cruise. Going on a little bit, because this is where the essay starts to turn, and this is why the essay is a good example of what postmodern writing is about. One of the things in the notes that I talked to you about the other day was basically sometimes postmodern writers argue for the sake of arguing. If you think of I don't know how many of you watch Seinfeld, but there's a lot of arguing about nothing on that show. It's kind of arguing for the sake of arguing. And this is what he does. And this is kind of where the essay starts to turn. And instead of discussing what he experienced on the cruise ship, he starts to analyze his experience on the cruise ship and try to figure out what it is about going on cruise ships that people like so much. I've been thoroughly, professionally, and as promised beforehand, pampered. I've seen in dark moods, viewed and logged every types of erythema, keratinosis, pre-melanomic lesion, liver spot, eczema, wart, papular cyst, potbelly, femoral cellulite, varicosity, collagen and silicone enhancement, bad tint, hair transplant that have not taken, i.e. I have seen nearly naked a lot of people I would prefer not to have seen nearly naked. I felt as bleak as I felt in puberty, and I filled almost 3 Mead notebooks trying to figure out whether it was them or just me. Now, what? Come back? Anyway, and kind of where this essay starts to turn is he starts to talk about all the parts of people that he didn't really want to see. He said, I've seen nearly naked, a lot of people I wish I had not seen nearly naked. And then he talks about all the, the deformities or the, the gross or the negative things kind of that typically involved in getting older. And he says, then I filled 3 notebooks trying to figure out whether it was them, something weird about them for enjoying this, or whether it was just me and I was the weird one. My guess is a lot of you would probably just say it was him, but I think his analysis, which is we're going to be talking about after you take a look at the questions that Ms. Todd is going to pass out to you, I think it's an interesting analysis of why people would want to go onto a cruise ship. So I will return pig part free.